Hello everyone, my name is Karen Visser and I'm co-founder and CEO of Biolink Brain Training. And I'm excited that you decided to register for this presentation where I'm going to walk you through our focus assessment and why you should consider this assessment with your child or even if you're an adult with yourself. Now before I start, you will see on the right hand side there is a participant section and then also a chat section, and the chat section I want you to go and press that side, because if at any stage you have a question that you would like to ask me with regards to this presentation, you can just type it in there and that question will get emailed to me and I will be able to answer any questions that you do have. Okay, so just quickly go do that. Now if we look at this picture, sometimes you feel like you're a parent or a teacher and you see these behaviors in class or at home and you just don't know where this is coming from. Now let me give you some examples. So sometimes you will struggle to get them to start do the task, whether at home or in the classroom. You just don't get them to start. Don't get the bums on the chair to get going. Or worse, they will start and then about 2 minutes in, they are going to have to go do something, like go drink some water, go fetch a pencil, things like that. I know you've seen that. Sometimes you instruct them, you give them something to do, and to you it feels like they are not listening or they don't understand what you are saying. Sometimes they rush through things. You see that every day, and then they make unnecessary mistakes. And then they are frustrated afterwards, or you are frustrated. Emotional control. Sometimes they really struggle to keep it together. You will see a meltdown that you did not see coming. You don't know where that is coming from. And homework at home will sometimes end in a screaming match. And that's not anything, we don't want that as parents. Now, normally, when we think about what can be the cause, where is this coming from? Most people believe that it is attention. And I'm here today to show you that there's other things to consider with regards to explaining behaviors that you are seeing. Okay, so let's look at the focus assessment and some key features. Right, so I think the one that's most important when you look at an assessment is that this assessment is a scientific, computerized, and it's objective. So that's important. So there's no person involved that can play a role with the emotions when they do this. So scientific, objective measurement. Okay. I think the next thing that's important is that you should know that this assessment has been standardized and validated. Up to the point that we are doing this recording, we have done more than 18,000 assessments on this with this assessment, and we've done this all across the world and in different languages. Important, there is no language requirement over here, so they don't have to be able to read or write. So the earliest that we can test your child is 5 years old, and we have no limit if you are an adult. Okay, now if we look at this assessment, I need to tell you that it is very low stimuli. There's a reason for that. You will know that a child can sit and play a video game the whole day with no problem, because there's a lot of things happening. It's high stimuli. A lot of times they will play games that's so exciting that you just think, where are they getting the energy to do this? But it's nice and it stimulates them. They want to do it. So this is not that. This is going to be the most boring assessment that they have ever done. But it's very easy. They are just going to react on a star. The reason why it's low stimuli is we want to really simulate what happens in a classroom, because sometimes in a classroom where they are not listening or they're not stimulated by the teacher, they don't like the subject or they don't like the teacher, it plays a role. So we're really actually putting them in a very difficult situation where we can really measure if there's nothing stimulating going on. What is their potential? How long can they stay focused, among other things? Okay, so very important. And the thing that's important for me as well is that you will have a number. We quantify what we see. Okay, so let's go look what we measure. So we talk about 4 constructs that we measure, and I'm going to quickly run through this. We measure attention span. We call it consistency. So being able to start the task, complete the task in any given time, and my quality of work stays exactly the same. That's why sometimes you will sit with your child in class and a child can do it now, and then half an hour later they can't do it. Or they can do it today and tomorrow they struggle. Okay, we can identify that. Processing speed, information coming in. Now we have to process what is required, and we either have to answer or we have to write, so we can measure how fast that child can process what happens in the brain, and we will understand the behavior. Impulsivity, sometimes they react too fast, we know that, but sometimes that impulsivity comes from different places, so we will be able to identify that as well. And I think the one that excites me the most is the fact that we have built into this assessment auditory and visual distractions. You will know today in classrooms there are a lot of kids, there's a lot of things happening around them, external stimuli, and sometimes these distractions are the root of the problem, why they cannot complete the task, why they get impulsive, because they get so agitated with what's going on. So we have built this into the assessment, and we will be able to see what the effect it really plays on your child's ability to stay focused. So let me show you an example of an assessment, and this is so easy because you don't have to really struggle to understand what's going on here. You've got a visual example of how your child's skill set looks like now. And remember, we are measuring different skill sets, and being saying that, remember, any skill set can be improved. We just want to see what is it that we see now. Why am I seeing this behavior at home and at school? Because I want to understand it now, because any skill can be improved. So if you look at the report, it's just a quick example. Your child will be, or you will be measured against same age and gender. Okay, so you will be able to really get that quantifiable result. So if you look at this, consistency and performance, these two, this is the attention span, that's the brain processing speed. These two constructs, we want the score to be as high as possible. So you will be able to see on this now. That's 20 minutes. From there to there is 20 minutes, just an example. And the score that we got there is 8%. Now, 8% of 20 minutes is 1.6 minutes that this child was able to pay attention. The purple line you see over there is the norm group of 8-year-old males. So it's great for us to be able to see where's the norm, but what's most important to see the actual skill set, because that's going to explain the behavior, and that's what we want to see, right? So we want to get those two scores, we want to get as high as possible. And over here you can see that this child is 100% impulsive, and that's going to explain so many things. So we want that score to go lower. So this is just an example so that you can see this to help you as a parent, but also as a teacher, to understand what you are seeing in class. And if we all work together and we understand the behavior, we can really help these children to perform better. Okay, so this is just an example of that. So what do I want you to do now? I want you to either do one thing. I want you to go to our website. Okay, so our website is coming up, and I will put, if you're watching on YouTube, I will put the link in the description. You can go to our website and go find an agent near you. So if you find an agent in your area, I want you to either book an assessment immediately, or if you've got more questions or you want to see how it actually looks like, book a time with them, go have a cup of coffee and ask all the questions that you want to, so that you can make an informative decision. Okay. If you are in an area where we do not have an agent, we can test you online. So don't worry, I can test you any place in the world, and we can have that same discussion with you with regards to your child's results. So I want to urge you to take action, and let us help you to put your child on the road, a successful road where we can help and form them into the successful human beings we all know they can be. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.